I thought my best friend was my brother, until I heard giggles from my parents' bedroom. Nanny cams revealed a gut punch, him with my MOM, betraying my dad for years. I'm David, 25 years old, living with my parents in a quiet Connecticut suburb, saving up for a condo by pouring beers at a craft brewery downtown. It's not a dream job. I sling IPAs to hipsters who barely tip, but it keeps the lights on. My mom, Carol, 45, is the neighborhood sweetheart. She plans PDA fundraisers, bakes cookies for block parties, leaves sticky notes with smiley faces on the fridge. My dad, Robert, 48, teaches high school math. He's quiet. Lives for lesson plans and fantasy. Football. My sister, Abby, 18, is starting college soon, always glued to her phone, scrolling TikTok or snapping at me for no reason. Then there's Lucas, also 25, my best friend since we were kids. We built forts in the backyard. Snuck dad's Bud Lights at 16, dreamed of backpacking Europe. He's the guy I'd call if my car broke down at 2 a.m., like family. Or so I thought until everything crashed. It was a Thursday night. I got off work early because the bar was dead. Drove my rusty Honda Civic. Home around 11 p.m. The house was dark, just a faint glow from the upstairs hallway. I figured mom was binging Netflix or dad was grading papers. I kicked off my sneakers, started climbing the stairs. Then I heard a giggle from mom in dad's bedroom. Not her usual laugh when she's chatting with her book club. This was flirty, sharp, like she was a teenager. Then a guy's voice, low, familiar. Lucas. My stomach sank. I stood outside the door, hand hovering over the knob, my heart pounding so hard. I thought it'd wake the street. I cracked the door an inch, saw mom on the bed, her silk robe loose, blonde hair spilling over her shoulders, Lucas next to her in his red flannel, leaning close. They didn't notice me. I heard mom say, "You're gonna get us caught." Lucas laughed, that smug laugh he's had since we were 13. I shut the door fast, stumbled to my room, locked it, sat on the bed, staring at my Apple Watch. What did I just see? Was Lucas sleeping with my mom, or was it something innocent? He's always over, fixing stuff. Last month he rewired the porch light when it fritzed. Mom called him a lifesaver, but that giggle wasn't about a light. I couldn't sleep. My brain kept replaying mom's voice, Lucas's laugh, how close they sat. I wanted to barge in, demand answers, but what if I was wrong? What if I looked like a paranoid idiot, ruining my family over nothing? Morning came. I was a mess, dragged myself to the kitchen. Mom was flipping pancakes in yoga pants, humming a pop song. She looked normal, like she hadn't been flirting with my best friend at midnight. "Morning, sweetie," she said, sliding me a plate. Her smile was the same as always. Dad sat at the table, glasses fogged from coffee steam, muttering about a kid who bombed a quiz. I mumbled thanks, watched mom's phone on the counter. It buzzed. A text. I couldn't see the name, but there was a winking emoji. My gut twisted. I didn't know how to ask without sounding unhinged, so I ate fast, bolted to my room. Abby was sprawled on her bed, AirPods in, scrolling her phone. I tried fishing. "Hey, you seen Lucas around a lot?" She barely looked up. "He's always fixing crap. Ask mom." Her tone was sharp, like I'd touched a nerve. I dropped it, but it stuck with me. Lucas showed up that afternoon, acting normal. "Yo, man," he said, tossing me a Monster Energy from his truck. "We gaming tonight?" His grin was the same one from when we'd sneak into R-rated movies, but now it made me want to deck him. I played it. "Cool, maybe," I said, watching him head to the garage with a toolbox. Mom called him in for iced tea, her laugh echoing from the kitchen. I felt nauseous. I started noticing things. Mom's new perfume. Not her usual lavender, but something bold. Lucas hanging around more, always with an excuse. The mailbox needed screws. The AC needed a filter. Dad didn't care, just graded papers or watched ESPN, but I saw it. Mom's hand brushing Lucas's arm when she handed him a drink. Him standing too close when they talked about some 90s concert. I couldn't shake that image of them on the bed. I checked mom's phone that night while she was showering. Her passcode was still 1234. I scrolled her texts, hands sweaty. Most were boring, PDA chats, grocery lists. But one was from Lucas, no contact photo, just L. Tomorrow at 7, winking emoji. Her reply, a heart. My chest tightened. I screenshotted it, sent it to myself, deleted the trace, put the phone back. I wanted to confront her. But a text wasn't enough. Mom could say it was a joke. Lucas could play dumb. I needed something solid. I decided to play detective, like those true crime shows mom watches. I'd watch, wait, collect evidence. We had Ring cameras at the front door and garage. Dad got them after a package got stolen. I logged into the app on my laptop, dug through footage. Most was useless. Dad mowing the lawn, Abby sneaking in past curfew. But I found a clip from last Tuesday. Lucas's pickup pulled into our driveway at 9 p.m. Dad was at a school board meet. Mom let him in, her hair down, not in her usual bun. They stood on the porch, her hand on his arm, talked for a minute, then went inside. The clip cut off. My throat felt tight. I saved it to a folder labeled work stuff, so no one would snoop. I started tracking their routines. Mom's yoga class was Mondays and Wednesdays, but her gym bag never left the closet those nights. Lucas always showed up, saying he was checking the furnace or something. I checked his Instagram. He'd post gym selfies or bar shots, but nothing when he was at our house, like he was covering his tracks. Abby was acting strange too, snapping at me more, dodging Mom's hugs. I caught her texting late at night, tilting her phone so I couldn't see. Was she in on this? Did she know? I asked her one morning over coffee. You think Mom's been weird lately? She rolled her eyes. David, you're paranoid. Get a life. But her voice cracked. I didn't push, but I wasn't convinced. Dad seemed normal, bringing home Chipotle, kissing Mom on the cheek, talking about his students. I wanted to tell him. But what? Your wife's cheating with my best friend. I had a text, a clip, but nothing concrete. I needed more. A guy at work mentioned a nanny cam he got for his dog. Cheap on Amazon, motion activated, small. I ordered one. Next day delivery. My plan was to put it in the living room, where Mom and Lucas always hung out when Dad was gone. If they were just friends, I'd see nothing. If not, I'd know. I felt like a creep, but this was my family. I wasn't letting it crumble without the truth. The nanny cam arrived in a plain box. I waited until everyone was out. Dad at school, Mom at a PTA brunch, Abby at her mall job. I set it up in the living room. Hid it in a fake succulent from Target. It blended perfectly. The app linked to my phone, showed the couch and coffee table. I tested it, walked around. It recorded clear. That night, I told Mom I had a late shift, but parked a block away, watched the feed. Lucas showed up at 7:30, toolbox in hand. Mom let him in, wearing a sundress, not her usual leggings. They sat on the couch, drank wine from Dad's stash, laughed about a college party. I zoomed in, her hand on his thigh, his arm over her shoulders. This wasn't about a leaky pipe. I recorded it, my pulse racing, but they didn't do more, just talked, laughed for an hour. Then Lucas left. I was mad. It wasn't enough, but it kept me going. I checked the cam every night, saved clips to my laptop. Mom and Lucas had a pattern. Mondays and Wednesdays, when Dad was late, they'd sit close, share drinks, talk about old times. I hated how comfortable they were, like this wasn't new. Mom's phone buzzed more. She'd smile at text when Dad wasn't looking. Lucas stopped asking me to hang out, always busy with work or some girl. But I knew he was here. Abby was still off. I caught her sneaking out one night, climbing out her window like we did as kids. I followed her, headlights off. She went to a diner on Route 5, met a guy, not Lucas, older, maybe 30. I couldn't see his face. She looked nervous. Handed him something small, maybe cash, maybe a USB. I didn't know. Was she tied to Mom's secret or something else? I snapped a blurry photo from my car, but it showed nothing clear. I couldn't ask her. She'd shut me down, so I kept it quiet. Dad acted like everything was fine, grilling burgers on weekends, watching the Yankees. I wanted to shake him, but I had no proof. Just clips, texts. That could be nothing or everything. I was losing sleep. Shifts at the bar dragged. I'd pour beers on autopilot, thinking of Mom's laugh, Lucas's smirk, Abby's secrets. I moved the nanny cam to the hallway outside Mom and Dad's bedroom, riskier. But I needed something big. I told myself this was for the truth, not revenge, but I wasn't sure. The hallway cam caught something a week later. Mom and Lucas coming out of the bedroom at 10 p.m. Dad was at a teacher's conference. They whispered. Her hair messy, his shirt half unbuttoned. She hugged him before he slipped out the back door. I saved the clip, hands shaking. It wasn't a smoking gun, but it was close. I dug into Mom's laptop one morning. She was at the gym. It was open on the kitchen table. No password. I found emails from an account, just initials, LC, to another random one. Heart emojis, short messages, can't wait for next time. Dates matched Lucas's visits. I printed them, hid them under my mattress, checked Lucas's Twitter. He posted about a bar the night he was here, like he was building an alibi. I saved it too. Abby kept bugging me. I asked her over breakfast, "You okay? You look stressed." She snapped, "I'm fine, David, leave me alone." Her eyes were puffy, like she'd cried. I followed her again. Same diner, same guy. She gave him another small bag. I took a photo, too dark to see details. I was building a case, but it felt shaky. One wrong move, and it'd collapse. I thought about confronting Lucas, grabbing him after work, asking what the hell he was doing. But he'd lie. Mom would cover. I needed proof no one could deny. I ordered another nanny cam for the kitchen, where Mom and Lucas sat after Dad went to bed, hid it in a cookbook shelf, aimed at the table. I had hours of footage, none innocent, but none enough. I wondered if I was losing it, seeing things that weren't there, but Mom's texts, Lucas's laugh, that night in the bedroom. It was real. I'd prove it. No matter what. I was in deep now. My life felt like a Reddit thread gone wrong. I'd set up nanny cams in the living room and hallway of our Connecticut colonial, catching my mom, Carol, 45, and my best friend, Lucas, 25, in moments that made my stomach churn, them sipping wine, her hand on his thigh, him slipping out of her bedroom at night. I had texts, emails, blurry clips, but nothing airtight. I couldn't stop, though. The truth was out there, and I was going to find it, no matter how much it hurt. I kept my routine, pouring beers at the brewery, smiling at Mom's pancakes, nodding at Dad's stories about his math students. But inside, I was a wreck. Every laugh from Mom felt like a lie. Every grin from Lucas felt like a betrayal. My sister, Abby, 18, was another question mark. She was sneaking out, meeting some guy at a diner, handing him small bags. I didn't know if it was tied to Mom and Lucas or something else, but her red eyes and sharp tone told me she was hiding something. I couldn't trust anyone, not even Dad. Robert, 48, who seemed oblivious, grilling burgers on our deck, watching the Yankees with a Coors Light. I wanted to scream, "Open your eyes," but I needed proof, something that'd make Mom's excuses crumble. The kitchen nanny cam was my next move. I'd set it up in a cookbook shelf, angled to catch the table where Mom and Lucas often sat after Dad went to bed. I checked it daily, my phone buzzing with motion alerts. Most clips were boring. Mom chopping vegetables, Abby grabbing a Red Bull. But then I got something. Monday night. Dad was at a parent-teacher night. Lucas came over, toolbox in hand. Mom let him in, wearing a low-cut blouse. Not her usual sweatshirt. They didn't touch the toolbox. Instead, they sat at the kitchen table, opened a bottle of Merlot from Dad's stash. Their voices low. I zoomed in on the app. Mom's fingers traced the rim of her glass. Lucas leaned forward, his hand brushing hers. She laughed. Said, "You make this so hard." He smirked. Said, "You're worth it." My jaw clenched. I recorded it, saved it to my laptop in a folder labeled taxes. This was big, not just flirty. It felt personal, like they'd crossed a line. But it still wasn't enough. I needed something undeniable. I kept digging. I checked Mom's phone again one morning while she was at Starbucks with her PDA friends. Her passcode was still 1234. I found more texts from Lucas. Short, vague. Thursday, 8 p.m. Can't wait. With a heart emoji. Mom's reply. Me too. I screenshotted them, sent them to myself, deleted the trace. My hands shook. I also found a new email in her inbox from that LC account. A single line. "You looked beautiful last night." No reply, but it was dated the same night as the kitchen clip. I printed it, added it to my stash under the mattress. Lucas was getting sloppy, or maybe he didn't care. I checked his Instagram. He'd posted a story at a bar that same Monday, timestamped 10 p.m., but I knew he was at our house until at least 9:30. He was building alibis. I saved the story before it vanished. Abby's behavior was eating at me. I followed her again one night. Parked my Honda a block from the diner on Route 5. Headlights off. She met the same guy. Older, maybe 30, scruffy beard. He handed her a small envelope. She gave him a bag. They didn't talk long. She looked nervous, glancing around. I snapped a photo, clearer this time, caught his face. But I didn't recognize him. I ran the photo through a reverse image search on my laptop. Nothing came up. I didn't know what she was into, drugs, secrets, or something tied to Mom. I tried asking her the next morning, casual, over cereal. "You been okay? You seem stressed." She snapped, "Mind your own business, David." Her voice shaky, eyes darting away. I backed off, but I wasn't letting it go. I needed to know if she was part of this mess. My shifts at the bar were hell. I poured drinks. My mind stuck on Mom's laugh, Lucas's smirk, Abby's secrets. I was paranoid, checking my phone every hour for cam alerts. One night, I caught a clip from the hallway cam. Lucas and Mom coming out of the bedroom. Dad was at a math conference. It was 11 p.m. Her hair was messy, his shirt untucked. She kissed his cheek, whispered something. He nodded, left through the back door. I saved it, my chest tight. It was closer, but still not the nail in the coffin. I thought about telling Dad, but he'd never believe me without hard evidence. Mom would spin it, say Lucas was helping with the house. Dad trusted her, trusted Lucas. I'd look like the crazy one. I couldn't risk that. I ordered another nanny cam. This one for mom and dad's bedroom. It was a line I didn't want to cross, but I was desperate. I hid it in a fake smoke detector above the dresser, synced it to my phone. I felt sick doing it, like I was betraying them. But they were betraying us, I told myself. The bedroom cam was a game changer. 2 nights later, Wednesday, Dad was at a school board meeting. Lucas showed up. I was parked down the street, watching the feed. They went straight to the bedroom. No toolbox, no pretense. Mom shut the door. I saw them sit on the bed, her hand on his chest, his arm around her waist. They talked, laughed. Then she leaned in, kissed him, not on the cheek, on the lips. My heart stopped. I recorded it, my hands trembling. This was it, proof. But it wasn't over. They didn't stop there. I won't describe it, but I had enough. I saved the clip, backed it up to a USB drive, hid it in my sock drawer. I couldn't watch anymore. I turned off the feed, sat in my car, staring at the dashboard. I felt like throwing up. My mom, my best friend. How did this happen? I drove to a 7-Eleven, bought a pack of Marlboros, smoked one for the first time in years. The nicotine didn't calm me. It just made my head spin. I went home, acted normal. Mom was in the kitchen, making lasagna. She smiled, asked how my shift was. I mumbled, fine. Went to my room, locked the door. I didn't sleep. I kept seeing that kiss. I had proof now, but what was I supposed to do with it? Confront Mom? Show Dad? Expose Lucas? It'd destroy everything. Dad would be crushed. Abby would freak. Our family would implode. But I couldn't let it slide. They'd lied, betrayed us. I deserved the truth. Dad deserved it. I decided to keep going, gather more, make sure my case was ironclad. I checked the bedroom cam again the next night. Nothing, just Mom reading a book. But I knew they'd be back. Their routine was set. Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, I started tracking Dad's schedule. His late nights were their window. I checked his phone one night while he was asleep. Felt like a jerk, but I had to. Nothing weird. Just emails, texts from colleagues, a fantasy football group chat. He was clueless. It made me angrier. How could he not see it? Mom's new perfume, her late-night texts, Lucas always around. I wanted to protect him. But I needed more than a kiss on tape. I needed context. Why was this happening? How long? Was it just physical or something deeper? I went back to Mom's laptop, found more emails from LC. One said, I can't stop thinking about you. Dated a week ago. Mom's reply, we need to be careful. My heart sank. This wasn't a fling. It was serious. I printed it, added it to my pile. I checked Lucas's Facebook. He'd posted a photo with some random girl, captioned, good times. But the date matched a night he was at our house. Another alibi. I saved it. Abby's diner meetings were still a mystery. I followed her one more time. Same guy, same exchange. This time I got a partial license plate from his car. I wrote it down, thought about running it through a database, but I didn't have access. I wasn't a cop. I asked a buddy at the bar who knew a guy. He said it'd cost $200 to trace. I didn't have the cash, so I let it sit. But I kept the photo, the plate number. Abby was in something. I just didn't know what. I was drowning in evidence, but it felt like quicksand. The more I had, the deeper I sank. I started drinking more. A beer after work turned into 3. I'd sit in my car, watching old clips, obsessing. I knew I had to act soon, but I was scared. What if I confronted them, and they turned it on me? What if Mom cried, said I was wrong? What if Lucas laughed it off? I needed a plan, not just proof, but a way to make them face it. I thought about setting a trap, inviting Lucas over when Dad was home. But that felt too risky. I considered telling Abby, but if she was involved, she'd tip them off. I was alone in this. My shifts at the bar got sloppier. My boss noticed, told me to get it together. I nodded, but my mind was elsewhere. I kept checking the cams. The bedroom one caught another moment. Thursday night, Dad at a faculty dinner, Lucas and Mom again. This time they were bolder. I stopped the feed early, saved it, added it to the USB. I had enough now, more than enough. But I couldn't pull the trigger. I kept thinking about Dad, his quiet smile, his dumb dad jokes. He didn't deserve this, neither did I. But here we were. I smoked another cigarette, stared at the stars from my car, wondering how my life turned into this. I wasn't just hunting for truth anymore. I was hunting for a way to make it right, whatever that meant. I was sitting on a powder keg. My Connecticut suburb life had turned into a true crime episode. I had proof now. Nanny cam footage of my mom, Carol, kissing my best friend, Lucas, in her bedroom. Their hands all over each other. Emails with heart emojis, texts with winking faces, Instagram alibis that didn't add up. I'd saved it all. USB drives hidden in my sock drawer, printed emails under my mattress, Screenshots on my phone. I had enough to bury them, but I was paralyzed. Blowing this up would torch my family. My dad, Robert, didn't deserve to have his world shattered. My sister, Abby, was already a mess, sneaking out to meet some shady guy at a diner. I didn't know if she was tied to Mom's affair or caught in her own drama. Every day felt like walking on glass. I kept up the act, pouring beers at the brewery, eating Mom's lasagna, laughing at Dad's corny jokes. But my head was screaming. I couldn't look at Mom without seeing her lips on Lucas. Couldn't see Lucas without wanting to smash his face. I was drinking too much, 3 beers after work, sometimes a shot of Jack, smoking Marlboros in my Honda, staring at the stars, wondering how my life became this. I knew I had to act. I couldn't keep collecting clips like some obsessed stalker. I needed a plan, confront them, expose them, or walk away. But walking away wasn't an option. They'd betrayed us, me, Dad, our family. I deserved answers. I started by digging deeper into Abby. Her diner meetings were too weird to ignore. I followed her again, parked a block from the Route 5 diner, headlights off. She met the same guy, scruffy beard. Maybe they exchanged another envelope and bag. I got a better photo this time. Caught his license plate clearly. I borrowed $200 from a coworker, paid his sketchy friend to run the plate. The car belonged to a guy named Michael Sullivan. No criminal record. Worked at a car dealership in Hartford. I didn't know what it meant. Was Abby buying drugs, selling something, or was this guy connected to Mom? I confronted her the next morning, cornered her in the kitchen while Mom was at yoga. Abby, what's with the diner guy? I saw you. Her face went pale. She stammered. It's nothing. David, stay out of it. I pushed. Is it drugs? Money? What? She yelled. You're not my dad. Leave me alone. Tears in her eyes. She stormed off. I felt like crap, but her reaction screamed she was hiding something. I checked her room later, while she was at her mall job, found a burner phone. Under her pillow, cheap flip phone, not her iPhone. It had text from an unknown number. Drop off tonight. Same spot. Don't be late. I took photos of the screen, put it back, my heart racing. Abby was in deep, but I didn't know if it was Mom's mess or her own. I kept checking the nanny cams. The bedroom one was the gold mine. Monday night. Dad at a faculty dinner. Lucas showed up. No toolbox. Straight to the bedroom. I watched from my car, parked down the street. They didn't waste time. Kissing. Laughing. More. I stopped the feed. Saved it. Added it to the USB. I had hours of this now. Undeniable. But every clip made me sicker. I couldn't unsee it. Mom, who'd tucked me in as a kid. Lucas, who'd been my wingman at prom. I smoked another cigarette. Tried to clear my head. I needed to know why. Was this new? Had it been years? Was it just sex? Or did they love each other? I went back to Mom's laptop. Found another email from LC, dated yesterday. I need you. Carol, we can't keep hiding. Mom's reply. We'll figure it out. Just be patient. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a fling. They were planning something, leaving Dad, running off. I didn't know. I printed it. Added it to my stash. Lucas's socials were still a lie. A Facebook post with a girl at a bar, timestamped when he was at our house. I saved it. His alibis were crumbling. I checked Dad's phone again. Felt like a traitor, but I had to. Nothing. Just emails. A text from Mom. Love you. Home late. I wanted to puke. She was lying to his face. I started planning the confrontation. I couldn't just show Dad the footage. He'd break. I needed to hit Mom and Lucas first. Make them admit it. I thought about inviting Lucas over, pretending everything was cool, then playing the clips, but he'd bolt. Mom would cry, spin it. I considered a public move, like emailing the footage to the PDA group chat, but that'd humiliate Dad. I settled on a trap. I'd get them in the house together, Dad home, cameras rolling, catch them. Slipping, I checked Dad's schedule. He had a teacher's conference next week. Out of town. Perfect. I'd tell Mom I was working late, but I'd be watching. I texted Lucas, yo, man, been a while, come over next week. Thursday, we'll game. He replied, bet, sounds good. I felt slimy, but it was set. I kept watching the cams. Tuesday night, Dad at a math club meeting, Lucas and Mom in the kitchen, drinking bourbon, her hand on his neck, his lips brushing her ear. I recorded it, saved it, my hands. Steady now, I was numb. I check. Ked Abby's burner phone again. More texts. Meet tomorrow. Bring double. I didn't know what double meant. Cash, drugs, secrets. I followed her that night. Same diner. Same guy. Michael. I got closer. Hid behind a dumpster. Heard him say, tell her it's due soon. Abby nodded. Looked scared. Tell who? Mom? Someone else? I took another photo. Caught his face clearly. I was building 2 cases now, Mom and Lucas, Abby and Michael. My life was a house of cards, one wrong move, and it'd collapse. I started writing it all down, a timeline, dates, clips, texts, emails, photos. I hid the notebook in my closet, locked in a shoebox. I was ready to blow this up, but I was terrified. What if Mom begged? What if Lucas fought back? What if Dad blamed me? I drank more, 4 beers a night, chain smoking in my car. My boss at the bar pulled me aside. David, you're slipping, focus or you're out. I nodded. But I didn't care. This was bigger than my job. I checked the bedroom cam again, Wednesday night. Dad at a school event, Lucas and Mom, Boulder. I stopped the feed early, saved it. I had enough footage to fill a hard drive, but I needed the trap to work. I started talking to a coworker, Jake, who'd been through a divorce, told him bits, not everything. He said, "Man, get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off." I knew he was right, but I wasn't ready. I kept digging, found an old photo on Mom's laptop. Her and Lucas at a barbecue, 3 years ago, his arm around her, her smile too big. Had this been going on that long, I saved it, added it to my evidence. Lucas's Twitter had another fake post, him at a club. Same night he was in our kitchen. I saved it. Abby's diner guy, Michael, was a ghost online. No socials, just the car dealership link. I called the dealership, pretended to be a customer, asked for Michael. They said he was on leave. My gut said he was bad news. I told Abby I knew about the burner phone, cornered her in her room. She freaked. "How'd you find it? David, you're sick." I said, "Tell me what's going on, or I tell Mom," she cried. Said, "It's not what you think, just drop it." I didn't, but I let her go. I needed her to crack. The trap was set for Thursday. Dad would be at the conference. I'd fake a work shift. Hide in the garage, cameras on. Lucas was coming. Mom didn't know I'd be there. I checked all the cams, made sure they were charged, backed up every clip to a cloud drive. I was ready, but I wasn't. My hand shook as I smoked another cigarette. I kept seeing Dad's face, his quiet trust, Mom's lies, Lucas's betrayal, Abby's secrets. I didn't know how this would end, but it was coming, fast. Thursday was the day. My heart was a jackhammer as I sat in the garage of our Connecticut Colonial. The nanny cams were charged, hidden in the living room, kitchen, hallway, bedroom, every angle covered. I told Mom, Carol. I was working a late shift at the brewery, told my best friend, Lucas, to come over for video games. My dad, Robert, was at a teacher's conference in Boston. The house was theirs, or so they thought. I was parked in the garage. My Honda Civic tucked behind Dad's old kayak. Watching the feeds on my phone, my USB drives, printed emails, timeline notebook were in a backpack next to me. I had enough evidence to sink a ship. Clips of Mom and Lucas kissing, their hands on each other, emails about needing each other. Text with hearts, fake social media alibis. I was ready to catch them, but my hand shook. I lit a Marlboro, the smoke curling in the dark. I kept thinking about Dad, his quiet trust, my sister, Abby, and her own secrets with that diner guy, Michael. Sullivan. I didn't know if she was tied to this or not, but I'd deal with her later. Tonight was about Mom and Lucas. The trap was simple. Lucas would show up, thinking we'd game. Mom would be there. They'd slip up. Cameras would catch it. I'd confront them. Play the footage, demand answers. I backed up everything to a cloud drive, just in case. Lucas's pickup rolled into the driveway at 7:45 p.m. I watched the front door cam. Mom let him in. No toolbox, just a 6-pack of Bud Light. She was in a sundress, her hair loose. They hugged, longer than friends hug. My stomach twisted. They went to the kitchen. The cam there caught them opening beers, laughing, Mom's hand on his arm, his fingers brushing her waist. I recorded it, my pulse racing. They didn't know I was watching. I waited, letting them dig their hole. They moved to the living room, sat on the couch. The cam and the fake succulent had a clear view. Mom leaned into him, her head on his shoulder. He whispered something. She giggled, that same flirty giggle from that first night. I zoomed in, saw her hand slide up his thigh. He kissed her neck. I saved the clip, my chest tight. This was it, more than enough, but I wanted them to say it, admit what they were doing. I crept out of the garage, silent, my phone still streaming the feed. I stood outside the living room window, hidden by the shrubs. They were still on the couch, kissing now, her hands in his hair, his shirt half unbuttoned. I recorded it, my hands steady. I was done waiting. I walked to the front door, unlocked it quietly, stepped inside. The house was warm, smelled like Mom's lavender candles. I moved to the living room doorway. They didn't see me, too wrapped up in each other. I cleared my throat, loud. Mom gasped. Pulled away. Lucas froze, his face pale. David, Mom stammered. What are you doing here? I didn't smile. I know what you're doing, I said, my voice cold. I've known for weeks. Lucas tried to play it cool. Man, it's not what it looks like. I cut him off. Don't. I've got footage, texts, emails. You're done. Mom's eyes widened. She stood. David, please, let me explain. I pulled out my phone, opened the app, played the bedroom clip. Their kiss, her hand on his chest. The sound was clear. Mom's face crumpled. Lucas looked at the floor. I kept going. Kitchen clips, living room, emails from LC, text with hearts. I laid it all out. Mom was crying now. David, I'm so sorry. It just happened. I laughed. Bitter, just happened. 4 months, years maybe. Lucas finally spoke. Dude, you're blowing this up. We didn't mean to hurt anyone. I wanted to punch him. You're sleeping with my mom, my best friend. How's that not hurting? Mom reached for me. I stepped back. Don't, I said. I'm telling Dad. He deserves to know. Mom sobbed. Please, David, it'll kill him. I didn't care. She'd killed us already. Lucas stood, grabbed his keys. I'm out, man. This is messed up. I blocked the door. You're not leaving until you explain. Why? How long? He shoved past me. I grabbed his arm. We scuffled. Mom screamed. Stop it. I let go. Lucas bolted. His truck peeled out. I turned to Mom. Talk. Now. She sank onto the couch, tears streaming. It started 2 years ago, she said. He was helping with the house. We got close. It was a mistake. I didn't believe her. 2 years. You've been lying to Dad. To me. She nodded. I love your father, David. I didn't want this. I snapped. Then why? She didn't answer, just cried. I left her there. Went to my room, locked the door. My head was spinning. 2 years, my best friend, my mom. I checked the cams, made sure every clip was saved. I wasn't letting her spin this. I thought about Abby, her burner phone, her diner guy, Michael. I needed to know if she was part of this. I checked her room again, found a note in her desk, scribbled, MS to by Friday, or he talks. MS, Michael Sullivan, he talks. To who? Dad. The cops? I didn't know. I took a photo, put it back. I followed her the next night. Same diner, same guy. I got close, heard her say, I can't get it, he'll kill me. Michael leaned in. You've got till tomorrow, or it's over. I snapped a photo, caught his face. I was sure now. Abby was being blackmailed. But by who? For what? I confronted her the next morning. Showed her the note photo. Abby. What's MS? Who's he threatening? She broke, tears pouring. It's not about Mom, David. It's me. I messed up. I sold some stuff. Pills, for him. He's got proof. He'll turn me in. My jaw dropped. Pills? Abby, you're dealing? She shook her head. It was once. I needed money. Now he won't let me go. I hugged her. First time in years. We'll fix this, I said. But you're telling me everything. She nodded. Promised to come clean. I felt a weight lift. But Mom and Lucas were still a storm. I hadn't told Dad yet. He was due back Saturday. I didn't know how to do it. Show him the clips. Sit him down. I kept drinking 5 beers a night, smoking in the car. My boss at the bar gave me a final warning. Shape up or you're fired. I didn't care. I checked the cams Friday night. Mom was alone, pacing on her phone. I caught a snippet. She was talking to Lucas. We need to stop. It's over. I saved it. Maybe she meant it. Maybe not. I dug into Michael Sullivan. Called the car dealership again. He'd quit. No forwarding address. I searched online. Found a mugshot from 3 years ago. Petty theft. My gut said he was dangerous. I told Abby to stay away from the diner. She agreed, but looked scared. I was juggling 2 fires, Mom's affair, Abby's blackmail. I started planning how to tell Dad. I'd sit him down, show one clip, the bedroom kiss, let him ask questions. I backed up everything again. Cloud, USB, external drive. I wasn't losing this. Saturday morning. Dad came home, tired but smiling. Brought me a Boston Red Sox cap. I forced a grin. Thanks, Dad. He kissed Mom. Asked how her week was. She lied. Fine, honey. I wanted to scream, but I waited. That night, I caught Mom texting, probably Lucas. I checked her phone later. New passcode. I couldn't crack it. She was covering tracks. I checked the bedroom cam. Nothing, just her reading. I felt stuck. I'd confronted Mom. Lucas was gone. Abby was opening up, but Dad was still in the dark. I drank more. 6 beers, passed out in my car. Woke up to a text from Lucas. Man, we need to talk. I ignored it. He didn't get to call shots. I kept digging into Abby's mess. Found another note. Michael's address. A rundown apartment in Hartford. I drove there, watched from my car. Saw him leave. I didn't follow. Too risky. But I had his spot. I told Abby, we're ending this. She nodded. I felt like I was holding the family together, but it was slipping. Mom was distant, Dad clueless, Lucas a ghost. Abby terrified. I smoked another pack, stared at the clips, the kiss, the lies. I was ready to tell Dad, but something held me back. What if he forgave her? What if he left? What if he hated me? I didn't know, but Sunday was coming, and I couldn't wait anymore. Sunday morning hit like a freight train. I hadn't slept. My Connecticut bedroom smelled of stale Marlboros and regret. I confronted my mom, Carol, 45, and my best friend, Lucas, 25, 2 nights ago, played the nanny cam footage of them kissing, their hands all over each other. Mom admitted it had been going on for 2 years. Lucas bolted. I had everything: clips, texts, emails, saved on USB drives, a cloud, an external hard drive. My sister, Abby, 18, was another mess, confessing she'd sold pills for a guy named Michael Sullivan, who was blackmailing her. My dad, Robert, 48, was back from his Boston conference, clueless, sipping coffee, reading the Sunday paper. I couldn't wait anymore. I had to tell him. My stomach was in knots. I showered, put on a clean shirt, grabbed my backpack with the evidence, walked downstairs. Mom was in the kitchen, flipping pancakes, her eyes red. She saw me, froze. David, please, she whispered, don't do this. I ignored her, found Dad in the living room, his glasses perched on his nose. Hey, Dad, can we talk? He looked up. Sure, kid. What's up? His smile was so normal it hurt. I sat across from him, my hands sweaty. This is hard, I said. It's about Mom. His brow furrowed. What's wrong? Is she okay? I took a breath. She's been cheating with Lucas for 2 years. His face went blank. He laughed, nervous. That's not funny. David, I pulled out my phone, opened the app, played the bedroom clip, Mom and Lucas kissing, her hand on his chest. Dad's eyes widened. His coffee mug shook. He set it down. What is this? His voice cracked. I kept going, showed the kitchen clip, their hands touching, the emails from LC. I need you. Carol, Dad's face turned gray. He stood, paced. This isn't real. David, you're wrong, I said. I wish I was. I've got more texts, footage. It's been months of this. He sank into the couch, hands in his hair. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I choked up. I wanted proof. Didn't want to hurt you. He nodded, staring at the floor. Mom walked in, saw us. David, no, she cried. Robert, I can explain. Dad cut her off. Explain? You're sleeping with our son's friend. His voice was low, furious. I'd never seen him like that. Mom sobbed. It was a mistake. I love you. Dad laughed. Bitter. Love. You call this love? He turned to me. How long did you know? I said. Weeks. I tried to be sure. He nodded. Get out. Carol, I need space. Mom gasped. Robert, please. He pointed to the door. Now. She grabbed her purse, left. The house was silent. Dad sat, head in his hands. I felt like garbage. I'd done it, but it didn't feel right. I said, I'm sorry, Dad. He shook his head. Not your fault, kid. I need time. I left him there, went to my room, checked the cams. Mom hadn't come back. I texted Abby. Where are you? She replied, Mom, I'm okay. I needed to fix her mess next. Michael Sullivan, the diner guy, had her trapped. I drove to his apartment in Hartford, the address from her note, parked across the street. Saw his car. I waited. An hour later, he came out, scruffy, carrying a gym bag. I followed, kept my distance. He went to a pawn shop, came out with a wad of cash. My gut said he was dirty. I took photos, license plate, his face. I called Abby. Meet me at Starbucks now. She showed up, nervous. I showed her the photos. This guy's bad news. Abby, what's he got on you? She broke down. I sold Oxy. One time he recorded it. He'll send it to the cops. I hugged her. We're ending this, I said. I've got his address, his moves. We'll scare him off. She nodded, scared but trusting. I spent the day digging online. Found Michael's old Facebook, deactivated but cached. Posts about quick cash, shady deals. I contacted a buddy, Tony, from the bar, ex-cop. Told him everything. He said, don't confront him alone. He's got a record. Theft. Assault. I'll come with you. We planned to hit Michael's place that night. Tony brought a bat, just in case. We knocked. Michael opened, saw Tony, tried to slam the door. Tony blocked it. We're here about Abby. I said, you're done blackmailing her. Michael laughed. You got nothing, kid. I showed him my phone, photos of him at the pawn shop, his car, his apartment. I've got enough to turn you in. I said, back off, or this goes to the cops. He smirked. You're bluffing. Tony stepped forward, bat in hand. Try us. Michael's face fell. Fine. I'm done. Delete the video, I said. He pulled out his phone, showed us, deleted it. We left, my heart pounding. Abby was safe. For now, I drove home. Dad was gone. Left a note. At a hotel. Need to think. Mom texted me. I'm at Aunt Linda's. I'm sorry. I ignored it. I checked the cams. Empty house. I drank 7 beers. Passed out on the couch. Woke up to a text from Lucas. David, I messed up. Let's talk. I replied. No. You're dead to me. I meant it. I kept digging into Michael, just in case. Found a forum post. He'd scammed others. I sent it to Tony. He said, keep an eye out. He might come back. I told Abby to stay home. No diner. Chiagra. Ed. I felt like I'd saved her, but the family was in pieces. Dad at a hotel. Mom at Linda's. Lucas gone. I went to work Monday. My boss fired me. Said I was too distracted. I didn't argue. I had bigger problems. I drove to Dad's hotel, a Holiday Inn. Found him in the bar, nursing a whiskey. He looked old. David, he said, I don't know what to do. I sat, ordered a Coke. We talked. First time in years, he said. I saw it. Carol's been distant. I ignored it. I said, you didn't deserve this. He nodded. What now? I said, you decide. But I'm here. He hugged me. Tears in his eyes. Thanks, kid. We sat in silence. I felt closer to him than ever. I went home, checked the cams. Mom had been back, grabbed clothes, left a note. I'll fix this, David. I didn't believe her. I kept watching Abby. She was better. No burner phone, staying home. I dug into Lucas. His Instagram was quiet. No fake alibis. I heard from Tony. Michael skipped town. Good news. But I didn't trust it. I backed up all my evidence again. Cloud, drives. I wasn't letting this go. Dad came home Tuesday. Said he'd talk to Mom. Try counseling. I didn't know if it'd work, but I nodded. Abby and I talked. She apologized. Said she'd been scared. I said, we're family. We stick together. She hugged me. I felt like we'd survived, but the scars were deep. Mom texted, I want to come home. I didn't reply. Lucas called. I blocked him. I smoked a pack. Stared at the stars. My life was a wreck. But I'd faced it. Dad was hurting. Abby was healing. Mom was a question mark. I didn't know what tomorrow held, but I'd keep fighting for us. It had been a week since I dropped the bomb on my family. My Connecticut home was a ghost town. My dad, Robert, 48, was back from the hotel, sleeping on the couch. My mom, Carol, 45, was still at Aunt Linda's, texting me daily, begging to come home. I didn't reply. My sister, Abby, 18, was finally clean. No more diner meetings, no burner phone. Thanks to me and Tony, my bar buddy. Scaring off Michael Sullivan, the guy who'd blackmailed her over selling pills. My former best friend, Lucas, 25, kept texting, calling. I'd blocked him, but he left voicemails. David, I'm sorry. Let's fix this. I deleted them. My life was a mess. I'd lost my brewery job. My savings were thin. I was living on Chipotle burritos and Marlboros, spending nights staring at the nanny cam footage, the kiss, the lies. I couldn't let go. Dad and I barely talked. He'd sit in the living room, grading papers, sipping Coors Light, his eyes hollow. I knew he'd started therapy with Mom, but he didn't share. I checked the cams one last time. Tuesday night. Dad was out. Mom came by, grabbed more clothes, left another note. David, I love you. I'll make this right. I crumpled it, tossed it. I was done with her promises. Abby was my only win. She'd opened up, told me everything. She'd sold Oxy to Michael for college cash, gotten over her head. He'd threatened to turn her in. She was scared, but now she was free. I got her to talk to a counselor at school. She was trying, staying home, no more sneaking out. I felt like her big brother again, not a detective. I drove to Starbucks Wednesday, needed to think, ordered a latte, sat in the corner. My phone buzzed, a text from Tony. Michael's gone for good. Cops picked him up, drug bust. Relief hit me. Abby was safe, but the family wasn't. I went home. Dad was there, looking at old photos. Him and Mom at a beach, happy. He saw me. David, we need to talk. I sat, he said. I've been seeing a therapist with your mom. It's rough, but I want to try. I nodded. You sure, Dad? After everything, he sighed. I love her. I don't know if we'll make it, but I owe it to us. I respected that, but it stung. I didn't trust her. I said, whatever you decide. I'm here. He hugged me. Thanks, kid. I felt a crack in the wall between us. Thursday, I got a call from a buddy, Mark, at a local diner. He needed a waiter. I took the job, started that night. It was grunt work, but it kept me busy. I stopped drinking so much, down to 1 beer a night, cut back on cigarettes. I needed to move forward. Mom came home Friday. Dad let her. I wasn't ready. She tried talking. David, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I love you all. I said. Words don't fix this. You broke us, she cried. I know. I'll spend my life making it right. I walked away. I couldn't forgive. Not yet. Dad and Mom slept in separate rooms. They went to therapy twice a week. Abby noticed. Asked me, you think they'll stay together? I shrugged. Maybe, maybe not. But we're still family. She nodded. Hugged me. I hadn't seen her smile in months. I kept checking on Michael. Tony said he was in jail. No bail. I told Abby. She cried. Relief, not fear, she said. I'm done with that life. David. I believed her. Lucas showed up Saturday. Knocked on the door. I was alone. Opened it. His face was tired. David, please, hear me out. I wanted to slam the door, but I let him talk. He said, I was stupid. It wasn't supposed to happen. I loved her. I'm done now. I laughed. Cold. Loved her. You destroyed my family. He looked down. I know. I'm leaving town. I just needed to say it. I said, good. Don't come back. I shut the door, felt nothing. He was gone. My evidence was still safe. Cloud. Drives. I didn't need it anymore. But I kept it, just in case. Dad and Mom started talking more. Small stuff. Groceries. Bills. I stayed out of it. Focused on my new job. Saved tips. Thought about moving out. Abby was applying to colleges. She wanted to study psychology, help people like her. I was proud. Sunday, I met Tony. At a bar. Not to drink. Just talk. He said, you did good. Kid. Saved your sister. Held your family. I nodded. Doesn't feel like it. He clapped my shoulder. It will. Give it time. I went home. Dad was grilling burgers. Mom set the table. Abby helped. It looked normal, but it wasn't. I joined them. We ate. No one mentioned Lucas. The affair, it was quiet. Not peaceful, but not war. I checked the cams one last time. Nothing. I deleted the app, packed the cameras in a box, hid them in the attic. I didn't need to spy anymore. Monday, I worked a double shift, came home late. Dad was watching the Yankees. Mom reading, Abby on her phone. I sat with them. First time in months. We didn't talk much, but it was something. I got a text from Mark. Good work tonight. Keep it up. I smiled. Small, but real. I cut out drinking, stuck to water, stopped smoking. My head was clearer. I started running, mornings, along the suburban streets. It helped. I saved more, looked at apartments, nothing fancy. Just a start. Abby got into a college, community one, nearby. She was excited. Dad and Mom were still in therapy, some days good, some bad. I didn't ask. They didn't tell. I saw Mom cry sometimes, Dad too. But they kept trying. I respected that. I didn't forgive. But I didn't hate. Lucas was a memory. I heard he'd moved to Boston. Good riddance. Tony checked on Michael. Still locked up. No threat. Abby was thriving, helping at a youth center. I worked hard. Got a raise. Moved out 2 months later. A small studio. My own space. I visited home weekly. Dad and I watched games. Abby cooked sometimes. Mom tried. I was civil. It was enough. I kept the evidence, locked in a safe. Not for revenge, for closure. My life wasn't perfect, but it was mine. I'd faced the worst. Came out scarred, but standing. I ran every morning, saved for a better place, maybe a trip, Europe, like Lucas and I once planned. But alone now. I didn't need him, or Mom's lies, or Abby's secrets. I had me, Dad, Abby, a family, broken, but healing. I looked at the stars one night. No cigarette, just air. I was okay, not great, but okay, and that was enough.